Hi, and welcome back to Rick's Room. I'm Rick Grant, and this is a podcast that I designed to recreate that feeling we get at the end of a busy conference where we're on our feet all day, we're working hard, we're meeting a lot of people, and we still haven't seen the person that we were going there to see and that we would hope we would until the end of the day. When we're in a comfortable seat, we finally have some time to relax, and here comes that person across the floor for a short conversation. In this case, that person is Joe Dahleen. Now, if you've been around the industry at all, you know that Joe is a mortgage industry visionary. And I say that because he has literally worked on all sides of this business. He's seen all kinds of technologies come and go. And I always love catching up with him because he always tells me what's coming right around the bend. Joe, thanks for being with me.
Yeah, great. Awesome. Thanks a lot, Rick.
So it's been a while since we've talked, and I'm sorry it's been so long because I love visiting with you.
Sure.
Catch me up. What have you been working on?
Yeah, I did a lot of work in the prop tech area for this last couple of years, which I thought was very, very entertaining and really challenging, and had a couple great friends that had launched some companies and got me thinking outside the box a little bit more. So that was been a lot of fun. And I've also been working on a couple other AI projects for some folks who I did some consulting for this last couple of years, which that's been fun. And now I'm really focused in on the applied AI side. And I really think that's the next thing that's really kind of hopefully going to propel our industry to lower cost and provide more efficiencies for lenders. And so that's where I've been studying most of the time over the last 3-4 years now. And I'm kind of feel like myself today is more of an AI solutions engineer. Even though I'm in charge of strategy and sales, I really am not selling. I'm really just helping people understand that this is an opportunity and where can it fit in their tech stack. And really, I feel like I do a lot of free consulting. I'll tell you the truth. And so that's kind of fun. So that's what I've been focused on late, is really kind of honing down this mortgage process to really make it understandable for folks, educating a lot of people on this process, and see if it actually is going to fit. And I'll be the first one to tell them if it won't.
Yeah. Well, I want to talk to you more about what it means to be an AI solutions architect, because it sounds like something we desperately need. But first, I want to go back to something you said and focus on a minute. You're talking about getting out of the box. And I think, well, it's been almost 30 years since I met you at an industry conference years ago. And I may have thought that you had a box for, 30 seconds, but I've never known you to be a guy that thinks inside the box. So talk to me about that. What's the mindset that has allowed you to do so many different things so well in our industry over the past 3 decades?
I think that's having a bunch of opportunities to focus on different parts of the process and where that data actually comes from and how people are actually doing that stuff before we even begin the mortgage transaction. The recent phenomena here recently is that you see all the big transactions that are happening. Realty and mortgage are becoming one. And realty, mortgage, insurance, and title is the only way lenders can make money nowadays. And so that's been kind of a good phenomenon. And so I'm part of a large prop tech group here from my early days working at Zillow from 2007 to 2012, when I really got into consulting and being on boards and helping entrepreneurs really kind of build a new infrastructure. And just having those kind of blinders taking off really kind of gives you a vision into what the future could be. And as you know, I've been on boards with Form Free and Prudent AI and Plunk, which was a prop tech company. And knowing all of these things and what these solutions are doing today and how they can be leveraged inside the mortgage spot is really, I think, an ideal task for me because I understand it a lot better. And when I mean get out of the box, I mean get out of your way in the mortgage area, because today we're still working on an LOS that's been around for 30 years, right? 30 years. We got all these solutions kind of packed in around it. And folks don't even know what the opportunities are when they're staring at their screens and trying to do the stare and compare the whole entire time.
Well, so, exactly. Yeah.
Having a fresh mentality and having a fresh look at things and how things actually get originated outside of the mortgage space before they actually become a mortgage or an opportunity for a mortgage is really kind of one of my strong suits.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because you've been working on all those different parts of the business for a long time. Now, is that what Silverwork does? Because I know you're in charge of strategy at Silverwork now. What do you want to tell me about that company and what you're doing there?
Yeah, that's a very unique thing. I don't know of too many people that approach it this way, and it's not a startup. It's been around since 2017. It's a led by a founder and CEO named Mike Kaysen, who's been in the business a long time. He's been in consulting. He took, UWM from 1 billion a year to 1 billion a month. And then he went on and did Home Point. And then he left to start this company. And when I met him, it was kind of very interesting because when I saw what he was doing, what he was approaching to do, and all the different agentic style role-based bots, and it really made a lot of sense. And I didn't see a lot of people attacking the problem like it is. And so basically, I really kind of focused in on how I could use these agentic style role-based bots to automate that entire role. Because as Garth Graham would tell you, right, it's basically $11,000 originate a mortgage, and 64% of that is labor. Yep. And the other, 13 to 16% is really cost of cures on the back end, and we are delivering. And those have been my real big focus. And I felt like, hey, if I could help lenders get down to underneath $7,000 to originate a loan, then I feel like I was really doing a great job for them. And then that way they would be more competitive themselves because they could compete with anybody in the marketplace because of their low cost reduce and their efficiencies. And then understanding what the bots are actually doing 24/7 for originators, it's kind of changed the game. I think how originators can approach working with clients. And so that's what I'm, helping clients understand today. And really clients and prospects, because I talk to a lot of prospects that don't have the fit for it yet, or it's not ready for them in their gestation and time that they're at. And frankly, I'll tell them too, if it's not going to be a fit for them, or they're too small and it wouldn't make that big of a difference on the ROI. So
yeah, well, I'm guessing, Joe, if you were involved, it's going to have an ROI on it on the back end. The problem that I've seen is that lenders want what you just described. They want to be able to automate a lot of their process, and AI has the promise they can do that. When they get in and play with it, they don't see those results. It turns out it's a lot harder than a lot of people think. So how do you guide them through that so they don't end up in that trough of disillusionment and give up on it?
Yeah, so this strategy is a bit different. This is not an IT lift for lenders. This is really more of a subject matter expert lift. And that's really important to understand because we not only develop the bots, build the bots, and customize them to their particular role and workflow. So they'll give me their job aids. I'll analyze the job aid. I'll understand their tech stack. And then if this bot would fit into that right area, these are all the things that it can do. And there's all the savings that you can get, right? And so that's been kind of a very unique thing since I know all the roles in the mortgage spot in the business. Really kind of having a fresh perspective on it about what their tech stack is. I can digest it. I know the services that they're using. I know the LOS that they're on. I've used the tool myself, right? Yeah. I'm still an originator today. I still have my license, It's like being a bartender. You can always go back to being an originator. So I bring those unique sets of tools to the table. And when they find out it's not an IT project, then it's much, much simpler.
Yeah. I mean, I used to be an editor at Mortgage Technology Magazine, and half of the articles we talked about were horror stories about failed implementations or technologies that were expensive and took forever to integrate. So approaching it from the different angle, like you're describing, has to be attractive to the lenders you're talking to. What kind of feedback are you getting from the industry so far?
I think what we're seeing is that it's unusual that this is not a technology, having to work with the CIO and the CTO to try to put something in for them. That's really kind of been the game changer. And frankly, I've had quite a few of those positions come and tell me, Joe, we'd like to just build this ourselves. I said, great, go for it. If you think that's the way to do it, that's awesome. So
yeah, good luck with that, buddy. Yeah,
right, exactly. I'd love to help you, but it's just not going to work. So it all depends. And there's some great talented people that we have out there, and really smart people. But I guess my approach is really just trying to illuminate really what it could be of this running. And one thing that's different about what we're doing is there's no setup, there's no implementation fee. The founder-led company that I'm working for, he basically believes in putting his bot out there, right? And he's not gonna bill you until the loan funds. And so if it doesn't fund, you don't pay for it. So it's kind of like a very refreshing model. It's kind of like a no-brainer in many cases for folks, right? And so it makes a lot of sense depending on what the use case is.
Right. And since it's not on the origination side, I guess you could do this anywhere in the country, right? With anyone?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, basically, if you think of what we used to do in the early days, right, and these up and down cycles that we've had, right,
Yep.
we would really just use a lot of BPO services, either onshore or offshore.
Right.
And frankly, that's expensive. And the BPO would always be saying, "Hey, well, it's not in your procedures. That's why we didn't do it," right?
Right.
And it got to be pretty expensive because you just paid every time a loan was processed, not when it funded. So now, basically, what I'm doing is I'm doing digital process outsourcing.
Nice.
So DPO is the new BPO, as our
Nice.
founder would say, right?
Interesting.
So it is a different model because that's exactly what it is. They name their bot. They give them a seat inside of Encompass, just like you would a BPO, right?
Wow.
And so the bots have their own name. You can communicate with the bot. You can email the bot and say, "Hey, remember that loan for Rick? Hey, listen, he's not going to buy the 450. He's going to buy the 425 house. Please rerun the file at 425 and send me the new updated pre-approval letter, and then and keep the pricing the same." And the bot will actually do it. So,
Holy cow.
yeah, we don't have to wait until Monday morning till you come in where you can get your staff working on it, right?
Right. Well, Joe, that's exciting, but it's exactly what I would expect someone like you to be working on now. So now let's stretch out a little bit into the future here. Where do you see this going for the lender? I mean, how far can you go with this?
Well, I think we're starting to see some entrance into and some heavy investment coming into the space. And there's a lot of people trying it. I think that in financial services, with the number of regulations that we have and everything else and all the things we need to pay attention to, you can't just use your normal chat GPT and start building your own agentic style things to go out and do all the stuff and book your trips and charge your credit card and do all that great stuff for you. That's not how it's done in mortgage, right? And we have to be very careful because we're dealing with a lot of sensitive personal information, right? And so it's really important. So I think what's happening now is that these large language models are going to be closed in. There'll be private LLMs, right? And that's when the agentic style work can happen. In mortgage, Gen AI is great for marketing. It's great for, sales and solution setups and getting meetings and doing marketing materials and educational materials. I think that's great stuff. That's Gen AI. What we do on the back end when the file becomes a file, right? And it comes through your POS and lands in your LOS, that's really applied AI. And as you know, we've been using applied AI in our industry for 30 years almost, 25 years, and since DU and LP happened, that's applied AI. Right. And so I think that the vision is coming to the future where basically this agentic style AI will perform all of these tasks, all of the stare and compare tasks, because it's uniquely qualified to do that. And it will learn more about your process as it goes on. But it is a closed-in model. You need to train your model. Just like what we have to do, we need to train our bots. So they may come fully ready to go off the shelf and we can plug it in, but a lot of lenders do things differently, right? And so for me, it's about really kind of understanding how do you want this bot to work? Because they can buy them a la carte. I don't care where they want them. They probably just try with their best highest area of need in the very beginning, and then they move on to the next one. So I think it's because it's a low kind of cost solution, and that it's really providing a big, huge lift, that I think what's happening now is that people are starting to say, okay, this is not just some slamma-jamma easy thing that we can do and it'll be ready to go. I think it's going to take time for these PLLMs to catch up to your process, right? So for example, we don't do any kind of Gen AI with the consumer. We don't work with the consumer as far as that piece is concerned. But we are working on the back end and analyzing all the credit, the 1003, the findings report from Dual AUS, and be coming up with solutions for this. For fact, lack of a better term, a solutions engineer working with the client, which is your licensed loan originator, right?
Oh, I love it, Joe.
So.
I love it. This is a perfect place for someone like you, especially in an industry with such heavy compliance oversight, where lenders can't just build something and hope it's in compliance. Someone like you with experience in the industry can create something that they can plug in
Mm-hmm.
That's an attractive offer. I can't wait to hear about more. We keep this show short because otherwise I would keep you on here half a day, Joe. But I'm going to make you promise to come back and see me again as you get deeper into the industry and as lenders start to figure out how this shift from offsourcing with companies and people to offsourcing with tech and AI can change their business.
There you go.
Right? All right. We've been talking with Joe Dahleen. He's the Managing Director of Strategy and Sales for Silverwork Solutions. Joe, thanks for being with me.
Always great to see you, Rick. Thank you very much.